Hello there and welcome along to day one of the Hockey World League Finals 2013. New Zealand versus China is the third game of the day, coming all the way from Tucumán in Argentina. And the next game is a Pool B game between New Zealand and China. Both sides entering the stadium now. New Zealand away to the right-hand side in the all-black kit, and China on the left of your picture in the all-red. Both sides here at the finals, having finished fourth at the Investec Hockey World League semi-finals. That was for China, and New Zealand finishing fourth at the Rabobank Hockey World League semi-finals in Rotterdam. They've made it to the final 8, and this is the first game of the tournament for both sides. Good crowd in. They'll get to their feet for the national anthems. Then all the first half action on the way shortly. Good reception for the team from New Zealand. Their opponents today, China. New Zealand versus China then, a Pool B game, pool which also contains the hosts Argentina and Australia. Both those sides face each other after this. This the first of the early evening games. Two results already from the day, two convincing wins as well. England beating Korea by 6-2, and the Netherlands beating Germany by 6-0. Let's have a look how both sides line up. New Zealand starting 11 on the left of your picture with the substitutes down the right-hand side. Kayla Sharland, the experienced skipper with 195 caps now, leading the team out. And Sally Rutherford takes her place in goal, under the watchful eye of Mark Hagar. And New Zealand's opponents today, China, who are ranked 7th in the world. 4 places behind New Zealand. It's Lee that starts in goal for the Chinese. China in a transitional phase, building towards the World Cup, which they've already qualified for in 2014. And their coach there, we saw Yo Dong. 2 umpires for the day. Fanike Alcamada and Soledad Paraguire. It'll be New Zealand to get us underway then in this 3rd game of the tournament, day 1 of the Hockey World League Finals 2013. About 10:30 in the morning over there in New Zealand, Sunday morning. Hopefully not too many stinking hangovers. Good start to this tournament, essential for New Zealand. China on the attack first, though. That ball well cut out, and the free hit one. Liz Thompson at the back there for New Zealand. Pitch was playing rather slow this morning. The sun has gone behind the clouds, though. Much cooler out there, slight breeze coming in today. But this morning it was piping hot. Much nicer playing conditions out there as that ball bobbles off the stick of Samantha Charlton. Gives the ball back to China. Aerial balls, testing one. Jab tackle from Dennison. Trying to get one in across the D. Yes, they can. Some sort of deflection there, but takes it away from the attacker and allows New Zealand to counter-attack. Forgerson now just offloads the ball. Both sides just giving away possession in these early exchanges. Those early nerves settle down. Good cross-field ball. A bit more space over there. And China back at about a half-court press at the moment as that ball dribbles across the baseline. Good time to introduce Nikki Simmons from Ireland, the captain of Ireland, who joins me here out in Argentina. Good to have your company, Nikki.
Great to be here.
And I'm going to push you really early on this one for some sort of prediction as to the way you see this game going. We saw England defeat Korea already today by 6-2. Netherlands thrashing Germany 6-0. Any predictions ahead of this game?
I have a feeling this game's going to be a bit closer than the other ones. Even from the start, both teams look like they're a bit more up for it. In the other games we saw there was a clear, you know, in the game for England, for example, they were 2-0 down after in the first half, so they didn't start too well. But it looks like already it's going to be closer encounter here. New Zealand look a lot sharper than I saw them training the other day. So hopefully they'll put on a good performance.
New Zealand ranked 3rd in the world. They get the first circle penetration for them in the first half. Shot wasn't that accurate from Flynn. Just got away from her as she tried to get that reverse stick shot off. China then working it around the back, ranked 7th in the world. Top 8 teams all in action here in Argentina. There's a dangerous ball through, and just struggles to keep it in. That was Liang.
I think she's in 2 minds whether to take it down on the first or wait for the bounce, and when she waited for the bounce, the ball just skidded away from her.
Crowd slowly filling up here for the big one, the hosts in action against Australia later after this at 9 o'clock local time. That'll start. Anita Punt playing a lot deeper than I've seen her beforehand, just in that midfield slot over on the right-hand side. Comes off for a breather. And Haywood comes on for her.
Yeah, she's already showing a bit of her pace there, punt. Even off the ball, you can see her running very strongly, and it's going to be difficult for Chinese defence.
Was it you that was telling me earlier that she was a 100-metre sprinter?
Yeah.
If not, she should be.
No, I think she is. We must check that one out.
Yeah. If there's any New Zealand fans out there, let us know via Twitter. We'll give you all those details during the game. China break into the D. They're looking for their first penalty corner, and they get it. Dangerous around the back, and an early blow for China. Let's have another look at it. Good skills.
Yeah, it was a great change of pace as well. Got around the defender and winning a corner off a ball up off the defender's stick.
Yep, that was
Charland,
just putting it onto Charland's stick. Yeah, you're right. Came up off her stick and into her body. And that gives us the first penalty corner of the game and a first opportunity to see the Chinese attack from the head of the D. Wang is there at the head of the D. Where's number 2? Left of the top castle. You'd expect her to take it. She's the number 1 drag flicker. Flicks it and, oh, gets it past the keeper off the rebound. It was the injector that got the final touch. The initial save coming in from Rutherford, but nothing she could do about the follow-up. Here's the injection from Chu. There she is to follow it up as well. So Chu puts China ahead. It's China 1, New Zealand 0.
Yeah, not a very convincing save by Rutherford there. She won't be happy with that. She didn't clear it.
She tried her very best to get rid of it, but it went right onto the stick of Chu. New Zealand trail then. Just 6 minutes gone. Chance to get one back here. Forgerson just chipping that ball ahead, taken away for a long corner. There's the Chinese captain now, Ma. He's looking for the glory ball cross field. Was cut out by Charland.
Was a bit ambitious by her there, trying to get it through a few players. I'm sure she saw something.
Tends to happen, doesn't it? You see the ball that you want to play, and that split second when you put your head down, players read the pass that you're going to make and step in and cut the ball off. Exactly,
especially at the sweeper position. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that so they can read you and they're able to step and take the ball.
Advantage from the initial foul there on Charlton. And look at this, just tucks inside a player and gets wiped out.
Yeah, not a very good tackle there by Chinese captain.
Breaking down the play though, I mean, it's a key part of the game really, isn't it? If you want to stop the other team from gaining any momentum. But New Zealand coming forward now off the foot. Spotted by the umpire, whistle's actually gone. Chinese player not hearing the whistle. 27 minutes left to play in the first half. New Zealand trailing by a goal to 0. Chu putting China ahead after 7 minutes. If you're just tuning in, welcome along. Michael Absalom and Nikki Simmons at the helm here in the commentary box in Argentina. Hunt now drives into the D, onto the foot, and earns New Zealand their first penalty corner. Great stuff from her. She saw the gap, change of pace, and then onto the foot. Real basic stuff, but right thing to do.
Yeah, interesting by the Chinese defender there, but yeah, great change of pace there, and that's exactly what it's about. And if people are watching at home, you're going to watch when they change the pace. You know, that's the really key. I mean, a lot of people are fast, but it's about when you do it.
Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Interesting.
Charland over the D. It's a straight flick, though, from punt. Wasn't much power behind it, but it still caused a bit of trouble for the keeper. Yeah, she didn't really get too much fizz on that Anita punt.
And New Zealand were also opting for the sweep push-out you were talking about earlier. We've seen a few different varieties in the last couple of games.
Take it to the side. Take the 16 to the side, please.
Yeah, the turf does seem to be playing quite slowly. There was the flick. Just didn't get it in the head of the stick, Anita punt.
Yeah, she just didn't catch it right.
It's amazing, isn't it, the number of hours that they put in on the training ground, but then when it comes down to it, just one lapse in concentration or just get 1 centimetre off, then...
Yeah, because there's so many different parts, especially in a drag flick, that if you get one part wrong, I mean, the rest of it's going to go wrong as well. So it's pretty difficult.
That's a lovely ball. Some early evening sunshine casting down here on the pitch in Tucumán, in the northwesterly quarter of Argentina. Day really split up into two halves, with 2 games being played locally in the morning and then back for some early evening action. Great skills there from Dennison to get the better of her player.
Nice and relaxed, and then just won the free hit from the Chinese.
You tell me you've played the game.
Yeah.
Over 200 caps. I think they call it a free hit.
Free hit.
Yeah. Going down this right-hand side with Chang ahead here. Now cuts in, looking for another penalty corner. Again, was looking for the foot of the defender. That was some good defending there, good light footwork. No problems with that ball taken above the shoulder. For those of you that haven't been following the World Hockey League, that rule's absolutely fine. You can play the ball above your shoulder, which we think is a good thing. There's a foot inside the D, spotted by the umpire, and it's penalty corner number 2 for New Zealand.
Yeah, I think the Chinese have spotted the same thing. It went straight into the circle in my mind, but I'm not sure what's going to happen here with the umpires.
Yep, say what you see. That's a great spot from you if it is.
In the circle, penalty corner. Yeah, penalty corner. Nobody touched the ball. Nobody touched the ball.
It was a direct push or a sweep into the circle.
The ball went into the circle, was a foot, but nobody did travel. 5 from here, and nobody else touched the ball. Is that okay?
Good spot from the umpires, and a good spot from you here as well, Nikki. Well done. There it is.
Yeah,
ball comes straight in. Does hit the Chinese player on the foot inside the D, but the ball has come directly into the D, which it can't do these days.
No, it has to travel 5 yards before it goes into the circle, or at least get another touch from somebody. If the New Zealand player had made a touch there, it would have been perfectly okay. It's excellent movement by Anita Punt there to receive that ball.
Just brought it back sharply, and here she is again into the D, but this time only as far as Wang, who collects it off her stick and thumps it down the other end.
She seems to be all over the pitch at the moment. She said she was over here on the right midfield, but now she's moved over to the left.
Good versatile player. Keep an eye out for her if you're new to the game. Black sticks number 32, Anita Punt, 26 years of age, over 130 caps now for her country. Charlton with the one touch down the line. He's looking for Cox, but couldn't find her. This is C, cut out by Dennison. Webster now with a good change of pace. Here's Punt. Again, great tackle from Wang, who's got the better of her 2 times now, winning that battle.
Yeah, it's very patient defending, and that's what you need to be with a quick player and make them make the mistake.
There's Wang, who's the danger player from penalty corners. We saw that already for China, converting 1 from 1. There's Coach Yo. Oh, well cut out. Good chasing back, but still falls for New Zealand. And here's Webster again, cuts in field. She's got options there. Was a bit telegraphed, that pass, in my opinion. But New Zealand
a little
recover.
bit, but we knew what she was trying to do, because you could see that there was a bit of space over the other side. Just wasn't, just didn't come off for her.
This is Flynn now. Again, tries to thread one through. And New Zealand have numbers forward there. Webster stealing it back, and Mary looking to play the 1-2 with Webster. It'll be a long corner. New Zealand after an equaliser. Again, it's Wang who's defending well for China. Seems to be at the heart of the Chinese defence. New Zealand staying high with the press. Could be an aerial option here for Wang to get rid of it. Instead keeps it low. Finds a teammate on the 23, who's Chang.
You see with all the top teams that have, their sweeper will be a really key position. And that's where she's playing. She's popping the ball over. We saw it in the other games as well today.
Good overlapping run down this left-hand flank now. New Zealand into the D. Pivot and turn to get the ball across, and searching for a black shirt. Good steal again.
You'd wonder though sometimes with them, like Wang seems to be taking every single free. What happens if she gets injured? Are they in trouble?
Find out. Let's hope she doesn't get injured.
Or if she goes off.
Yeah, Wang is one of 3 Chinese players who have over 100 caps. And the rest of the side relatively inexperienced. There's 2 members of the team who are uncapped. They're probably the least experienced side here. They've made some changes, as we said, in a transitional phase. Chinese hockey already looking forward into 2014 in the World Cup. A little deflection there, the defender getting a touch. The keeper's on it, smothers it, kills the ball, but gives away a penalty corner in the process. Better that than a goal. It's Lee in goal. Smothered and killed this ball. Took a deflection just in front of her and could have easily gone in, but got a right glove down to it.
Yeah, just about saved, but very good by the New Zealand players as well. Get sliding in. We were talking about that earlier as well. Fully committed.
Well, this is penalty corner number 2 of the early evening for New Zealand. Again, Charland and Punt line up next to each other at the head of the D. It was a straight flick from Punt last time. The injection's not good. Comes back to Punt, skips through, and to Charland, who shoots wide. We'll have to look from another angle there, but that looked like it was a good shooting opportunity, and should be disappointed not to have hit the target there.
Yeah, I think she had a lot of space. You don't generally get that much space in this at this level. So yeah, she'd be very disappointed with that. Not even getting it to, you know, there was a couple of players on the post as well, which you would expect to get to.
It's amazing how many times, isn't it, that you see a penalty corner break down, and then that creates actually a very good shooting opportunity.
Yeah, I suppose it all depends on how the defenders defend the corner and how well they get it out.
Here's another look at that penalty corner. Not the best injection, goes wide of the stick stopper. Punt leaves it there, and then Charland shoots wide and high. She had Flynn on the far post. He would have been one of those options that you're talking about to tip in.
Yeah, it's frustrating if you're on that back post every time and you don't get the ball. And especially when it goes wide, if it's not on target, you really are annoyed with that player.
Better short play from New Zealand. This is Cox. Chinese defence screaming at each other. It's a physical game out there, good to watch, good to see the girls getting stuck into each other in this first game of the tournament for both sides. New Zealand and China in a group with Australia and Argentina. Charlin kicks forward. Webster now. Looking to cut back, but again it's Wang who's there. Good advantage played from the umpire into the D again. Here's a chance. Penalty corner. The umpire thinking it was a foot. I think we're going to hear from the video umpire here. The Chinese will be able to ask a question.
Okay, you want to referral? Yes? Okay.
So we will go for a video referral.
Okay, one player. The question is not Chinese foot, or you say it's New Zealand foot. What do you say? No foot. No foot. China, no foot. Okay. Carol, yeah. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, Sally.
Okay. China is saying that wasn't China foot, so they say no penalty corner. Can you check for me this, please?
Okay, I'll take a look for no push.
So Carol Metchik will have a look there up in the video umpire booth, whether there was a foot indeed here. There was a good advantage played by the umpire initially here. There's the ball through. There's something there, but what's the deflection come off? Is it the foot of Chu, who is the goal scorer after 7 minutes?
It's quite difficult to see.
It is. We've got various angles that we can look at, and the video umpire has more than the ones that we're seeing in the TV replays. Stick through the legs from that angle.
Yeah.
I think that's
Sally,
come off a stick. Let's see what the decision is.
There is no push in the circle.
It's not what?
There is no.
Can you hear me? Yes. Tell me now.
There is no push in the circle.
Yeah. Okay. It must be bully.
So it's bully.
Okay.
Trying to keep the referral.
It's not good. So it's bully there. It's not good.
So China using the referral well. They get to keep their referral as well in the process, and the decision is overturned. No foot inside the Chinese D, therefore no penalty corner for New Zealand.
Yeah, I think they were pretty adamant there that there was no foot, and again, that's really important for this video referral because you lose it if you get it wrong, so you have to be pretty sure.
There's just over 15 minutes left on the clock. A bully to restart things. So there we go, there's some Facebook details for you if you want to follow all the action on the internet. We've also got a Twitter site there as well, at FIH_hockey if you want to follow us on Twitter. You can hashtag HWL, Hockey World League, hashtag HWL, and follow us on Twitter at FIH_hockey. Loads that you can do whilst you're on the internet. On Twitter, every time there's a goal, it'll link you to something called Snappy TV. So as soon as the goal goes in, there's been one goal in this game so far on 7 minutes for China. You can actually see that goal in its entirety as New Zealand search for an equaliser. Here is the goal scorer that comes away with it, Chow, and you can see her goal if you go on to Twitter right now and follow us at FIH_hockey. And then if you've got any photos of your own, maybe you're watching it back home in New Zealand and you want to get involved, send us a photo of where you're watching it, hashtag it HWL, and we'll do the same here in the commentary box. You can follow Nicky Simmons at Nick Simmons, and you can follow myself, Michael Absalom, at Michael Absalom. I'm sure you'll find us. It'd be great to hear from you. We'll be tweeting photos throughout the tournament. New Zealand in search for an equaliser here. And you've been behind the scenes as well, haven't you, Nicky, with some of the players on a photo shoot there, and all that is on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook as well, and I think there's some video coming about it as well. It was a really, really fun day yesterday with all the players, mainly the captains and a couple of players. So, yeah, I think they enjoyed it as well, which is good to see.
What's that like as a captain? You've been there and captained your country, captained Ireland, and obviously you don't want it all to be work and no play, so I guess a good opportunity to have a bit of fun with some of your other teammates and then also some of the other teams.
Yeah, it's nice to interact with the other teams as well, I suppose.
Here's China, crossfield ball. There's a foot there, is there? Yes, there is. It's going to be a penalty corner. A second for China. They scored from their first, and a chance to convert here just before half-time. Just under 13 minutes now left to play in the first half. But a clear foot there, and more danger brewing on the horizon now. Here's how it came about.
Yeah, crash ball in, which is always difficult, as we talked about before, for the defenders, especially when there's forwards running around in front of you. But you just have to be so diligent, make sure you're watching the ball.
It was Brooke Neal who conceded the goal, or the penalty corner, I should say. It might be a goal. Let's not curse it just yet. China, as I said, scored 1 from 1. It's Wang again that lines up at the head of the D. Another low flick this time, kept away by the postman, swept away by Neal, who conceded the goal, and they think it was going in. I think there was a foot there as well, actually, on the line.
Not sure it was going in, but I think there was definitely a foot.
Okay, question? What? Oh, it's on the leg. You want a stroke? You're looking for a stroke? Yeah? Good. Looking for a stroke. Yeah. Okay, Carol, can you hear me?
Yes, Monica, I can hear you.
Question is, they say the ball hit a foot and they're going for a penalty stroke. Can you please have a look?
Okay, I'll take a look.
Tough to tell, isn't it, from that angle?
Yeah, from that angle, it could have been going wide.
Definitely stick contact, but does it go onto the foot from there?
It hit her stick first, yeah. We'll see what Carol has to say.
Yeah.
All the New Zealand girls patiently waiting, watching the TV.
There's the injection. That's good. The flick from Wang was on target. It's taken a deflection. Has that gone into the leg, though? We have to slow that down. That's probably one of the best angles to see it at, and that's exactly what video umpire Carol Metchit will be looking at. New Zealand, there you go, just watching it on the big screen, which is just above them there in the centre of your picture. And the crowd being
Monica, I have a decision
very
for
patient, and here is the
Carol,
decision.
go ahead.
you. It hits the New Zealand player, so it's a penalty stroke.
Okay,
China keeps the referral.
okay, penalty stroke, thank you.
Well, the stroke given. We saw that initial touch on the stick, took it into the player's leg, but then deflecting wide. So the stroke awarded by the umpire. Collective decision from the umpires, having reviewed the video footage, and Wang will step up to try and extend China's lead. They lead by a goal to 0. It's Rutherford versus Wang. Sally Rutherford in goals for New Zealand. And keeps her side in it. Great save, strong, 100% behind that, and picked it well, watched it every step of the way.
It's a poor effort from the penalty corner specialist, so I would expect her to be in top corner, but it was just way too easy for the goalkeeper. Straight at her, pretty much.
Yeah, we've seen one stroke taken already in this tournament by Georgie Twigg of England, who kept it low, hit the backboard, and Wang there opting to go high, and China not able to extend their lead.
It's funny, most drag flickers would go high for some reason, but it doesn't always work out for them.
Where do you like to go?
I used to be a bit more dramatic in top corner, but it worked for me. But then as I got more experience, it was low.
Showboating.
Yeah.
Always bottom right for me.
Always.
Always bottom right. Good skills from Liang. Wins the free hit for China inside the attacking 23.
I think the key with penalty strokes is just pick a side and go for it. Don't change your mind, because that's what happens to a lot of people in the middle of it. They're like, they change their mind and then it doesn't work out.
Now, of course, got the penalty shootout phase to look forward to later in the tournament, should we require it, if teams are drawing when we get to the quarter-final stages, semi-final stages and the finals. Certainly is a good chance for the keeper to shine. Rutherford's kept aside in it so far. New Zealand back scrambling to defend their lines once again. China persistent. And eventually Punt comes away with it, a little lift. And a 2-on-2 now at the back. Punt might fancy it herself. Going for goal. Keeps in, a little swivel there. It's with King. Reverse stick this time, looking for a deflection. And stick-to-stick contact made by Merry. And China survived the counter-attack. Huge sigh of relief at the back there from China. Here's that shot from King. And there was the foul, stick on stick from Olivia Merry.
Again, good show of pace from Anita Punt. From it being quite controlled by the Chinese, she just changed pace and she was away.
Yeah, she's around about 60, 70 yards there from her own 23-metre line. Got it into the D.
They'll be disappointed with that. You mean you either want a shot on goal or at least a corner.
Good interception from Huang. And some room here now down the right-hand flank. It'll be a free hit for China. Must travel 5 metres from here. Thumped in. Charlene, good, calm, composed head on her. Looking for options in front of her. Doesn't have too much. And that's always the danger when carrying it out.
Yeah, you need your players to be working hard off the ball to give you an option.
Good tackle. Yeah, we saw the Dutch working hard off the ball earlier in that 6-0 victory over Germany. That's one of the things they did exceptionally well.
Yeah, I think every time someone had the ball, there was at least 2 options for the player, which is the key.
So New Zealand, the world number 3 side, trail here to China, ranked 7th. It's the pool stages of the tournament, and at the end of the day, it comes down to the quarter-final stages, where all the teams get through to a quarter-final, a knockout stage. And so not the end of the world if they lose this game, but it's just a confidence-building exercise, isn't it? Getting to those quarter-finals and trying to restrict the losses and get into some sort of rhythm.
Yeah, you want to gain momentum in these matches, and also try things out. So I'm sure the coaches will be trying different things, and the players will be as well.
Aerial ball floated in from Wang. Comfortable pick from Thompson. Lovely skills from Charland. Excellent work. Earns the free hit as well. That's where she's good, on the turn and just carrying it forward. Got her eyes up early and beat 2 Chinese defenders. Good field position here, right in the centre of the park. Lays it off to Dennison, who goes aerial ball, which finds Thompson. Restart from Thompson. Can she get it in? It's loose. It'll be a free hit for New Zealand, and it's Thompson over the ball. Liz Thompson here. Youngest player in the side at 18 years of age. And we've got a player gone down here. So they've gone into her head, and that some reason for concern. It's the captain, Ma, that's gone down. Let's have a closer look at it. There was the ball back from Thompson. Yes, the stick's gone through. Just into the throat area. She's brave to get straight back up onto her feet. Give us a sense of how much something like that hurts.
Yeah, I'd say that was a sore one, but look at her straight back. Again, what we said about hockey players.
Made of stern stuff, aren't they? One in the throat, whatever. Ball gets away from Mary. Chinese ball. Just that clarity coming through now from the umpires. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. New Zealand trail by a 1-0. Goal came after 7 minutes. Chu getting a follow-up tap into a shot on goal from Wang from China's first penalty corner. Here is Wang over the ball again. Acres of room over on the left-hand flank for China. Good down that reverse stick. Ball finds Pong. Cut out by Charlotte. There's Dennison under a bit of pressure, taken over the baseline by the Chinese player. 16-yard hit.
Chinese are really working hard to put pressure on the ball.
Here's Punt, who's looked good on the counter-attack with that change of pace. 4 black shirts ahead of her. Can she find one? Lovely. Just left that for Charlton. And good composure from New Zealand, who are just quite happy to maintain possession. China back every player behind the ball, and forcing that mistake there from Jones. Danielle Jones, who's another one of the youngsters in the squad, just 20 caps for her at 22 years of age. Oh, that one's into the crowd, I think. One bounce off the dugout, and a souvenir for someone. Hasn't quite had the intensity of the other games that we've seen so far in this tournament, this one.
No, it's a little bit more controlled. I think both teams are trying to pass the ball a bit more. If you remember the games earlier, it was a bit Route 1 for a while. Possibly because it was so hot. So maybe the teams now at the moment, it's not as hot, and they're able to keep the ball a bit longer.
There's a lovely bit of skill there from Chang to keep that ball in. Was going touch bound, but she jumped in the air. Kept it in play, very athletic. Flynn this time with the break. And the 1-2. Gemma Flynn pushes through, gets the free hit. Oh, good aggression. There's a chance for New Zealand to equalise. And save comes in from Lee. China quite content to keep using the reverse stick to get it down that left-hand flank.
That was a good chance for New Zealand there, Sophie Cox, but I think she probably could have, maybe it was wrong choice. She took a swing at it instead of keeping her stick on the ball.
Second bite at the cherry. This time King with the ball in. Only as far as Punt on the edge of the D. Charlin now, reverse stick effort, saved again by Lee. The follow-up cleared away by the keeper. This is more like it from New Zealand.
Yeah, superb effort from Charlotte there. Absolutely pinged that.
Here's another look at it. Punt with the ball into Charlotte, takes it on the reverse stick. Good reaction save from Lee, who was first to it and then fouled by the New Zealand attacker. One touch away, great stick control.
Yeah, she just created enough space there.
Corner this time.
New Zealand really piling on the pressure here, trying to get a goal before half-time, which would be a great time to score.
Good phase of play this from the Black Sticks. Trailing, and as you say, a really good opportunity to equalise before half-time. Into the foot there.
I think they got a bit tangled up there.
great evening sunshine here in Tuckerman. I'm kind of looking for Jack Sparrow. He's not here. The Black Pearl, well, the Black Sticks are in town. And a chance to equalise for them here now. It's punt with the drag flick, saved again by Lee. 1:30 left on the clock. Again, New Zealand come forward looking for the equaliser, that reverse stick shot. Not ideal.
Yeah, New Zealand again opting for the sweep pass out. And if you see China there, they don't have a first runner as such. They didn't run out to block it down.
What's the reason for that? To force the shot on the keeper?
Yeah, also maybe New Zealand will be quite good at the running in and deflections, so they could be looking at marking those instead and letting the goalkeeper see the actual shot from the top.
That shot itself was right at the keeper as well. Wasn't really challenging for Lee at all.
Yeah, perhaps they see that maybe they don't rate punts flick as much as other teams. That can also happen.
Inside the final minute now of the first half here between New Zealand and China. And just the one goal that separates the two sides. China scoring early on in the 7th minute through Chu.
Just going back to the corners, there's an incredible amount of video work that goes into these teams preparing for, you know, these sort of matches, and they know exactly what the other teams do, and they try and work out how they're going to do it.
Okay, well, New Zealand have to work out a way of getting back into this game. They're trailing in their first game here at the Hockey World League Finals, and they go in at half-time, a goal down. Sticks into the stick bin, and in for a chat with Mark Hager. What can they do differently in the second half to change things up here? It's China that'll go in the more confident of the two sides. A really strong first half from them. A missed flick in there as well from Captain Mark. Could easily be 2 up had it not been for a good save from Sally Rutherford in the New Zealand goal. So as it stands at half-time here between these two sides in Argentina, it's New Zealand 0, China 1. We'll be back with all the second half action shortly. Get the ball. Boost.
See the big like reach.
At the back. Yeah. Good for us. Yeah. 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 Sorry, just talking. Yeah. There's just some Facebook chat on top of that. What were you saying, sorry?
It's like 1-0, should be 2-0.
Yeah, yeah. Should have been 2-0. Just feel a bit more comfortable, wouldn't you, coming out?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly.
It's half-time here on day one, match 3. New Zealand and China both in action, and it's China that lead the way. A goal on 7 minutes from Chu, putting China ahead, and here is that goal now. Came from a straight flick here from Wang, which was saved by Rutherford, and Chu was the quickest to react to it, just sneaking up here on the bottom right of your picture to tap it home. Low flick initially from Wang to force that save from Rutherford. Not just clearing a line, and then a good save to make up for it from Sally Rutherford, diving away to her right-hand side and denying Wang and China a second goal. A few chances in there too for New Zealand. That the best of those, and Lee, the Chinese goalkeeper this time, called into action. That shot coming in from Kayla Sharland. Several penalty corners in the half as well. That one from Anita Punt, straight at the keeper. Lee with a comfortable save, glove height. So that's where we stand at half-time. New Zealand trailing by a goal to nil. They've had more shots on target, though, than China, 5-1, and more circle penetrations as well. They've looked most dangerous on the counter-attack. And just pipping it as well with 53% of the possession. None from 3, though, from their penalty corners. Lovely early evening sunshine here in San Miguel de Tucumán in Argentina, and the crowd slowly pouring in. We're expecting a full house of 6,500 people for the showcase game of the evening of day 1, Argentina versus Australia. That is the final game of the day. That starts at 9 p.m. local time. Love you guys to get in touch as well via Facebook and via Twitter. All those details coming onto your screen now. Facebook, you'll have access to the official videos and photographs, and via Twitter you can have your say. Follow us at FIH_hockey, and you can hashtag any of your photos or comments HWL. Access there too to Snappy TV, which gives you straight access to every single goal that's happening here at the Hockey World League 2013 in Argentina. So if you miss it, there's 2 really good ways to make sure you stay involved. If you've got to go back to work tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and you can sneakily stay online if you can, get it under the radar of your boss, and follow us on both Twitter and Facebook. Maybe you're watching on YouTube as well on the live streaming that's there. Highlights too on YouTube. Again, it's FIH Hockey for all of that action. Loads of smiley faces out there, and we love you guys to get involved wherever possible as well. So that showcase game between Argentina and Australia, the concluding part to day one. Ahead of that, the second half between New Zealand and China.
Bring it back.
DJ doing his part as well, and the crowd in good spirits. New Zealand, the first side to come out for this second half. They trail by 1-0 here, if you are just joining us for the second half. Back home there in New Zealand. How are you enjoying your Sunday morning? Let us know on Twitter, @FIH_hockey. Where are you watching the hockey? Who are you shouting for? Maybe some of these girls play for your club. Water's on the pitch. Final few patches just being absorbed away to our left-hand side, which is the side that China will be defending. New Zealand gather, and there's about a minute to go until the restart. Alongside me in the commentary box is Nikki Simmons. Just get your thoughts on the first half, a half which China dominated and could easily be 2-0 up at this stage.
Yeah, China started, I think, a bit more sharp than New Zealand, but looking at the stats, New Zealand had a good chunk of the possession as well, and actually the chances too, so they'll be disappointed they haven't got anything from that. So hopefully they'll have talked about that at half-time, and they'll go straight into it in the second half.
We saw England in a similar situation earlier this morning when they trailed by 2-1 at half-time. They managed to turn around that deficit and went on to win the game by 6-2. No such trouble for the Netherlands in the second game of the day, convincingly beating neighbours Germany by 6-0. And in this one, China lead New Zealand by 1-0. China playing it all red away to the left-hand side. It'll be them to get us underway in the second half. New Zealand with it all to do in the second half. So China to get us underway, fourth at this year's Asia Cup in September, and already through to the World Cup in 2014, which all the sides are eyeing up here. Very much a transitional phase, as we said in the first half for China, and a great start to that campaign. And they'll be looking to hold on here and just keep the pressure on New Zealand. Here's an early chance for Ma to creep through the defence. What changes do New Zealand have to make, Nikki, in this second half?
I think they might have changed their shape already looking at them, so they might be a bit more attacking. I think they've probably seen that the more they attack, I think China, you know, they put more pressure on them and the gaps will open up.
Well, let's see if New Zealand can crank up the pressure on China. That first attacking play was broken down. They've got to maintain possession. They've got to love that ball a bit. Picked up by Jones. Acres of room in here in the midfield for Charlton. Offloads the ball to Dennison. Route one for her. Charlton again. That was good vision, but also a good pre-scan from the Chinese defender to step forward and cut that ball out. That was Sun. But New Zealand still with possession. And a chance here for Gemma Flynn. The follow-up save made by Lee as well from Forgeson's shot. Two good straight strikes on goal there for New Zealand. Great start to the second half, just what they needed. Tackle back from Forgeson. Brings down Pong. That time it was Punt with the aggressive tackle off the ball on Ma. There's the straight strike from Flynn. Just moved and deviated a little bit in the air as well towards Lee. Great effort to get something behind that. And then Forgeson's follow-up shot also denied. Now some defensive work for New Zealand. Jabbed away from Zhu. Another long corner. You saw Mark Hagar there just radioing other members of his team around the stadium here. How easy, Nikki, is it to get a message onto the pitch as a coach? How do you relay? You can obviously do it through players coming on as substitutes, but how easy is it for coaches like Mark Hagar to get his message across to his players?
Yeah, it can be pretty difficult at times because, you know, you're in the middle of... Here come New Zealand again.
Yeah, just pulling that one back in towards the P spot. Charland was the target, but it was cut out by the Chinese defence. Yeah, he's clearly got a plan out there and some good early chances on goal in this second half for New Zealand. Another free hit there for them, won by punt.
Yeah, I think they're building on the momentum they got going in the end of the first half, which is great to see.
They almost seem to be doing a three-man weave on and off the ball. That's what they've seemed to have done in the last couple of attacks that we've just seen.
Yeah, they're really going in groups rather than individual, which is working out for them better in this half.
Aerial ball from Wang, comfortably brought down and into punt, who throws one back towards Webster.
I think if you
not
see
too kind.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's all right.
I think if you see the sweeper player taking a lot of aerials, it means your press is working well because they can't get out.
Something that China can do all day, though, sitting on that 1-0 lead. They can just keep aerialing it down the other end and saying, come on, try and get through if you can.
That's true, but I think eventually New Zealand will break them down. They've got the skills, they've got the speed.
Are you predicting a New Zealand goal there?
Yeah.
How many in this second half? Good advantage from the umpire. It'll be a 16. Good defence work from Chu, the goal scorer. Oh, there the Chinese coach, very animated. Two very different coaching styles. Not a great aerial that time. All the players just ducking out the way of that one.
Yeah, China seems to be panicking a little bit. They're throwing aerials or hitting crash balls. As I said, New Zealand is obviously, their pressing is working.
Charlton here just seems to be holding a more central role as a pivot, with Charland away to a left-hand side, but New Zealand quite keen to keep pushing down this right-hand flank. Final jab comes in from punt to take it away for a sideline hit.
Yeah, New Zealand are playing with 3 at the back and 2 as what we call centre midfielders. One is a sweeper, but you know, when they're attacking and coming out, it's 2 centre midfielders. It gives the player on the ball 2 options in midfield all the time, and it's quite hard to defend as well if you're not very organised in defence.
This game's not been the goal fest of the other 2 games that we've had in the tournament so far. Gemma Flynn working back to get the ball, but dispossessed there by Wu. Charland with the jab tackle, but it's for the first foul that the umpire's blown for. Wu steps forward and Huang comes up to take it. Hits it this time. Good strong take from Peng, forcing the free hit. Here's Wang. Offloads it and round the back from De. This is Wang, the danger player from the P spot. Missed the penalty stroke though in that first half, Wang. Good reverse stick take there from Jones, very calmly taken.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the nicest pass from her teammate, so she did very well.
Had a good tour of the facilities here, and we saw punt there, just a nice ice flannel on the back of the neck to keep her cool. Good accessories here, and oh dear. That was an ugly challenge. They were going to see a card as well.
Yeah, I think she got a bit frustrated with herself because she found herself in a lot of space.
Yeah, so green card for Huang Ting. So 2 minutes in the sin bin for her, a power play for New Zealand. Could this be the chance they've been after to equalise.
It has been building for them, so I'm sure they'll be disappointed if they don't get a goal soon enough.
Neil through Charland. Another sloppy tackle comes in. Ball eventually makes it into the D. New Zealand stick to stick. That time it was Forgerson's stick into the defender. And the free hit goes against them. China ball. That was rather casually done by Blackwood over there on the right-hand side. Players scrambling to get back possession.
Yeah, I think they need to string a few passes together, but they're still going for the long ball.
Turn from Chiang. She hasn't got any support here. Lovely stick skills, lovely, very nice indeed. See more of that. Reverse stick hit in this time, one touch away from Charland. Spread wide by Cox, plays in Flynn, Cox gets it back. Flynn again, good footwork to find Charland, this is more like it. Build-up play was nice, and the ball was looking like it was going to get through to Cox, but good defending from Durr.
Yeah, it's a pity that ball didn't get through to her. She was away into the circle, I'm sure.
Just over 25 minutes remaining in the second half. Goal came in the first half on 7 minutes for China. Also missed a penalty stroke, could easily be 2-0 up, but the second half, New Zealand certainly with the better of the chances, with 2 straight strikes on goal, both forcing saves from Lee, the Chinese keeper. Now New Zealand opt to step. Just played it onto her own foot there, did Pippa Hayward.
Taking your time coming up for this ball.
There's Hayward just playing it onto a shin pad.
Yeah, it was a pity because they'd forced an error from the Chinese, but just a pity, it's such a foot.
Yeah, right in front of the umpire as well.
She's not getting away with that.
Exactly. Yeah, they really are taking their time here because they're down a player, just checking to see if they're back up to full strength. Yeah, they're back up to full 11 now. Ting Huang back on the pitch after a grotty tackle.
Again, New Zealand looking to try and thread a ball through, which isn't really working for them. The Chinese are stepping in and picking it up, so they have to be a bit more careful with the ball.
Nothing ahead here for China, that's the only problem. They're defending very deep, so when they are picking it up inside the New Zealand half, they're on those higher lines, running the baseline runs that you'd expect.
Yeah, they're extremely deep. Even watching it here, you can't quite see it on a screen, but they've got, what, 5 players in their own half there, and they're in their own opposition 25, so...
They're the sort of side, aren't they, that'd be happy to sit back and say to New Zealand, come on, if you think you can take us on, let's go for it. And they're back themselves defensively. They've got 23 minutes to hold on here if they're going to take all the points and spoil New Zealand's day.
It's a long time to wait like that, though.
Yeah, New Zealand just have to keep pushing here. There's a bobbly one. Rutherford comes, left foot kicker. Out for a sideline.
That was a good option for her to come out and just clear her lines.
Yeah, Just one away from her 50th cap, Sally Rutherford. So we'll see that at some stage during this tournament. Amelia Gibson, the other New Zealand goalkeeper that's come along to Argentina for this Hockey World League final.
It's always nice to get a milestone in a big tournament like this, especially with a big crowd. A bit more exciting than against Wales.
Yeah, that's when your 200th cap came in, wasn't it, for Ireland?
No, not my 200, but I think I had.
You had your debut. You had your debut against Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yard hit. Sun may be going down, but it's still very humid and sticky here in Tucumán. Aerial ball again from Wang. Ball able to be played above the head there, as we saw from Blackwood, but her deflection takes it for a sideline ball. Just one option up front for China. They find it. Liang not able to bring it down under control, though. New Zealand come away with it again. Forgson, Webster there just playing in with Charland. There's Webster, not too much support. Plays back to Neil.
Yeah, they need to get on the other side, which they're doing at the moment, which is great to see.
Good change of channel. Took a deflection off the foot. Free hit for Blackwood and New Zealand inside the 23 metres. Just requires a patient build-up.
Yeah, it could have been a bit quicker by going into midfield rather than all the way back to the backs, which is what the top teams, are always trying to do. It's like a shallow transfer into someone in midfield, turn and go the other side, which is the best way. It ended up being just a bit slow.
Neil with the restart, and certainly more pace on that one. Blackwood unable to control it, was bobbling all over the shot. China with the ball on the halfway, and still with that 1-0 lead with 20 minutes now left to hang on. Goal bound, hits the backboards. No deflection inside the D, though.
Got to be careful of those, don't you?
You have to these days, yeah. Could be a defender, could be an own goal.
How many have you scored again?
Too many this season. What do you think of that as a rule, as a player?
I kind of mixed opinions on it. I think it's obviously good when you're attacking and it happens, but when you're defending, it's supposed to be quite hard for the umpires as well, in lower leagues, not in international. But yeah, I think it might be stopped. I'm not sure it's going to continue. I think a lot of internationals are giving out about it.
Yeah, you see, from positions such as where China are now, they can, if they want to, thump it straight in towards the D. It's exactly what they've done here.
And to me, that creates a bit more danger than we need, and I think they tried to take it out of hockey, and with this rule, it's kind of brought it back in again.
Yeah, that rule actually rescinded on the 1st of February, so that's something to look forward to. Put that date in your diary.
I think I've seen a few tweets about it, actually. International players, especially the men, they have said that.
Well, it's only at the international level, so
yeah.
At club level, their rule will still stand. But
so you're still in trouble then?
Yeah, for the second half of our season at Richmond Hockey Club, definitely still in trouble. Sitting pretty at the bottom of the table with 0 points. Unbeaten in the cup, though, must add that. Here come New Zealand then, through the midfield and through Charlton. Just played it onto own foot there, did Petra Webster.
We've had a few of those today from New Zealand players, so
will just take a game or two for these players to adjust to slightly different playing conditions, the pitch itself, having the experience of thousands of fans around you. It does just take a couple of games to bed in.
Yeah, I mean, they've been training on the pitch, but it's not the same as when you put into a game, an international game at such high speeds. Again, with the crowd, like you said, it's very different than just training on it.
Yeah, both these sides will have the crowd against them at some stage in the week. China playing Argentina on Tuesday evening, and then New Zealand in action against the hosts tomorrow. That's the final game of the day, the evening game. So Sunday evening, come back and join us 9 p.m. local time to see New Zealand versus Argentina. New Zealand need to get something from this game though if they can. No points in it so far if the score was to remain the same. Roughly around a midday start, we reckon, back home in New Zealand. But it would be your Monday. It's so confusing, the time zone, isn't it? Yeah, always got to keep going forward. Have a look at your TV guide. Follow your best players on Twitter. I'm sure you know when the game's playing. Whatever you do, don't listen to the commentator. Or just do the maths yourself, you know. It's not hard, is it? Clearly. Flynn with a quick restart. Cut out was the player 5. Umpire thinks so. Gemma Flynn battles on through, earns the free hit again. Good change of speed. Nice 1-2. Here's a chance for New Zealand. Gets the shot off. Keeper pads it away for a long corner.
Excellent determined play by Gemma Flynn there. She just didn't give up. She took the free really quickly and she caught the Chinese on the back foot.
Wasn't sure whether the Chinese defender got a stick in there, just catching Flynn's foot before she got the shot off, because she did seem to lose her footing, but could have easily gone over on the turf. We'll have another look at it there. Now she just goes to ground, which made getting the shot off a little bit harder.
No, she still managed to, which is great skill to do, and a lot of people wouldn't be able for that.
I think a ball in the face there. Didn't actually see that incident itself. Here's a chance. Flynn again, pulls it back. Punt there on the P-spot.
It's unlucky. Nice bit of skill again from Gemma Flynn on the reverse pass across the goal, which is always a good place to go looking for players.
New Zealand getting closer and closer to that equaliser. Dennison now to Charland. Good strength again from the skipper. Awkward one for the Chinese defence. Scurry it away for another sideline ball. Cox this time to take it for New Zealand. Punt with a change of direction. Across the baseline, final touch coming off Duel.
Chinese defence under a lot of pressure. You can hear it even in they're screaming at each other.
And the umpire just stopping the clock there. Another face injury, this time I think into the nose or the face of the Chinese 23, Jiao Jiao. And so 2 players taking whacks to the face within the last 2 minutes. So dangerous, isn't it, when the players get down low? Chance of a ball going in the face, a stick in the face, and look, there's blood there as well, which is why Dior is having to go and get some medical attention off the pitch. Oh, it's a brutal game.
Yeah, but you have to be that brave to play it, so they all are, and they just take the knocks.
Yeah, sometimes even from your own teammates, isn't it? During training, you know, you train as hard as you play. Saw Lidevij Velten, the Dutch player, in the lift on the way just to this game, just before this game. And she'd taken one in the chin from Marcia Polman earlier on this week in training.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it does happen.
Brooke Neal with the ball wide to Forgerson. Finds its way into the D. China allowing the ball into the D on several occasions here. But quite happy to just walk it out as well.
Yeah, they're not defending particularly well, but they seem to be getting away with it.
Well, let's have a look at those 2 injuries. There was the first one, a stick into the face. And the second one there, we just missed, but it was in the top right of our screen. Both players receiving medical attention for those knocks. 13 minutes left to play, and China lead New Zealand by a goal to nil still. Damage was done in the first half through Chu scoring on 7 minutes after Wang's penalty corner was deflected her way. Across the baseline, it'll be a 16-yard hit, just carried too far by punt.
It's unlucky. It's nice patient play by New Zealand. They're working it around the back, going to the other side, moving China a bit. Yeah, just need to get something out of it.
Hayward just ditching that ball to Dennison again. China at a half-court press, sitting back. Dennison thumps it forward in the direction of Julia King.
Yeah, as I said, China are holding off in half-court, but I think New Zealand need to be a bit more patient than that. That's exactly what Chinese want.
And they're taking their time with the free hit here again. Wang over the ball. Low flick this time. Forderson with the square ball, which finds punt. Well cut out by Chu, and goes for a sideline ball. Good strength. Again, it's Wang back there at the heart of the Chinese defence. She's played well today.
Yeah, she's been all over the place, picking up loose ball.
Yeah, if China had converted that stroke in the first half, I'd say that'd be game over about now. As it happens, there's just 1 goal in it. And still a lifeline there for New Zealand to get something out of this game.
There's still plenty of time, 10 minutes.
At what sort of stage as a player do you start worrying about the clock and thinking, we're not going to win this, or we're not going to get the goal back?
You try not to think like that. You think you can always score, and there's always a plan. Like, your coaches will always say, you know, maybe change it up and push someone forward, or, you know, there's always a plan there for the team. It's just a matter if you can do it at the right time.
Good overlapping run from Liang into the D, and looking for a corner. She gets it. And it's the first of the half for China. 3rd in total, and it came from Liang's run there. Numerous black socks to put it on.
Yeah, the defenders were very high there. They weren't very low, so they're leaving their feet very exposed.
Good conversion rate for China too. 1 from 2 from their penalty corners. This penalty corner number 3 of the evening for them. Rutherford again will no doubt be called into action. Wang is at the head of the D. She's normally the preferred option, the Chinese number 2. It'll be Chow, the goal scorer, to inject. Missed trap at the head of the D. Ball finds Wang. Zips around, and China have their second. The bench are on their feet, and in this time it is the Chinese number 27, Huang Ting, who adds a second. It's China 2, New Zealand 0. Here's the goal, back to Wang. Took a little deflection there, and tipped home by Huang Ting. Lovely finish.
Yeah, the 2 free players there, so I think it's hard to, I'm sure they'll look at it a lot on the video, but it's hard to know what to do when it's switched like that, or when it's broken down, whether to go out or mark the players. New Zealand chose to go out, and then it went to a free player.
Now New Zealand have to score in the next couple of minutes if they're going to keep their hopes of getting anything out of this game alive. As we said, not the end of the day if they lose this game, but it does send them towards the bottom half of the table. And in the other group, you've got the likes of the Netherlands, England, Germany and Korea, which they'll be wanting to avoid.
Yeah, they want to get as high up the table as they can.
Yeah, we're still quite some way away from the quarterfinals, which will take place next Thursday. All the teams to play each other in a pool phase first, and New Zealand in a pool with Australia and Argentina, as well as China. Again, China getting around the back, and again it's with Liang. Oh, lovely little dink, and a great cover tackle from Thompson. Crowd showing their appreciation for that sort of defence work that was top draw from Liz Thompson.
Yeah, it was good attacking and defending and showing some skills, and then just a solid tackle.
So China 2 up with a little over 7 minutes left to play. It's crunch time for New Zealand. They have to throw everything forward now. Nervy times for Dennison at the back there. Attacker wasn't 5 metres away from her. Aerial ball finds Gemma Flynn. Quick restart from her on the 23 and into the D. Here's a chance for New Zealand to get one back onto the foot, was it? Advantage played and squeezed under the body and into the sideboards from Sophie Cox. But it was almost there. It came from this attack from Gemma Flynn.
Yeah, again showing her pace and forcing 4 defenders to come round her, and then just passes it off. He's really unlucky there.
There was the chance from Cox as well on the far post, tried to squeeze it into the turf and pass Lee.
It's great to see the advantage played as well, which is really good.
Flynn again, who's been at the heart of all the New Zealand attacks this evening. Ball just dumped off by Charlton. Thompson now back into Charlton. Goes herself onto the reverse stick. And a good solid reverse stick tackle from Huang. Just 6 minutes left to play now in this third game of the tournament. Lazy tackle from Forgerson, advantage played from the umpire. We're going to see a card here, I think, for Forgerson, leaving that stick in. Yeah, it wasn't Dennison, it was Forgerson's tackle. Green card for her. 2 minutes in the sin bin. Advantage China.
She wasn't complaining about that, and it's also a thing that you have to do. The times doesn't start until you get your bum on that seat, so you've got to get off quickly, no complaining.
Forgerson, 31 years of age now, with over 190 caps for New Zealand. One of the more senior players in the squad, just Kayla Sharland in the team, who's got more caps than her. Kayla now up to 195 for the Black Sticks. Here she is on the ball, nominated for FIH Player of the Year in 2012. Penalty corner. Business time. Yeah, the ball played on to the foot of Chu there by her own teammate, and New Zealand have to score this. Trail by 2-0. None from 3 so far. Hopefully it'll be 4th time lucky for Mark Hager and the girls. Punt at the head of the D. Alongside her is Brooke Neal. We've seen them go for the straight flick the last couple of times. Punt peels out. It'll be Neal. Just waiting for the umpire's arm to go down. She wasn't ready. She is now. Slip hit this time. Sharland played back towards the head of the D. Mark concedes the free hit. Sharland first, quick to react, gets the shot off. A save from Lee, back at head height, and it'll be another penalty corner.
That's extremely good reactions there from Kayla. She just saw a gap and went for it.
almost rugby league-like in that sense, where the gap opened up and Charland exposed that, got the shot off, which forced the save from Lee, the keeper, but Lee on the back foot came up off her pads, head height, and China concede. Here's a look at their last effort. It was a slip, came Charland's way that occasion, but the postman down low to keep that one out. And a foul that time at the head of the D. Breathing space for China.
I think you can see now that they've pushed up a player. See, they've got four up front. Kayla Charland has moved up, so she's a free player, and they're putting a bit more pressure on her. As you said earlier, they really need to change something to try and score.
3 minutes to make some sort of magic happen. Is it beyond New Zealand to score 2 in 3 minutes?
The noise you're hearing around the crowd is Argentina have arrived.
Yeah, Los Leones in the house.
Here it comes.
Little deflection there and some space here. Rutherford has to come out to smother it. Open goal and shoots wide. Well, it should have been 3. Shot wide from Dieu. Have a look at this. Bobbled for Pyong. And that shot should have been goal bound. Should be 3-0.
Yeah, I think Rutherford had no choice but to come out there.
Neil now for New Zealand. Time bleeding away, 2 minutes left. Yeah, the crowd getting sight of the girls that have just arrived. The place has gone down into pandemonium. Girls running from their seats to go and meet their idols and their heroes. China looking to put the kibosh on New Zealand here. It looks like they're going to take all 3 points and go to the top of the table. Argentina to play next against Australia. That game is a 9 p.m. pushback, so just an hour or so to wait if you're watching on the live streaming on YouTube. That ball across the face of D, no danger there.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one for New Zealand to look back on, because I think in the second half especially they could have got a result out of this, so it'll be difficult to watch the video, but they're going to have to do it.
Anita Punt goes off the tip of her stick on the 23-metre line. There'll be no rush here as Wang trots over to take it. Mr. Flick halfway through the first half. Hasn't proved too costly. A side look like they're going to win this game by 2-0. Final 30 seconds. Ball comes forward from Charlton into the D. Consolation goal maybe for New Zealand. No foul there. Forgerson looking for the foot.
Yeah, she was desperately looking for a corner there, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Aerial again from Wang, who's had a solid game at the back for China. Final few seconds. There's the hooter, signalling the end of game 1 for both of these sides. It's a game which China have come out on top. They've beaten New Zealand here by 2-0. High fives in the China camp, and demoralised face there of Reed Dennison of New Zealand. They'll have to come back and do it all again. Tough opposition ahead in the form of Argentina and Australia. New Zealand will play Argentina tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. local time here in Tucumán in Argentina. And they will face Australia on Tuesday, the 3rd of December, in the early evening game. That's a 6:30 start local time. You can almost see the tears welling up there and how passionate Gemma Flynn was about winning this game. It hasn't been New Zealand's game. Full-time score here, New Zealand 0, China 2. So 2 goals in the game. one in each half for China. This was the first one. It came from Wang's shot at the head of the D, deflected by Rutherford there, but only as far as Chow, who picked up the opener on 7 minutes. Chow in the right place at the right time to slip that one past Rutherford. China did miss a flick through Wang. Rutherford called into action again, read that one beautifully, palmed it away. Not the best of stops here, but Wang got the ball, and then the final touch coming in from Huang to put it beyond doubt for China. No defence there. You can see 3 red shirts around Rutherford, swarming around her, and Huang adding to China's goal tally. That's the key stat on the night, 2-0 in China's favour. But look at those shots in New Zealand's favour, and more to the point, look at those circle penetrations, most of those coming in the second half, when they were consistently getting inside the Chinese D. And they had the better of the possession too in their opposition's half. None from 5, that's a worrying stat for New Zealand. They'll look to improve on that conversion rate from penalty corners as the tournament goes on. There is the other results from today's games. England beating Korea by 6 goals to 2. Netherlands keeping a clean sheet against neighbours Germany and winning that game convincingly by 6 goals to 0. New Zealand have suffered defeat here at the hands of China by 2 goals to 0. And our final game of the evening is going to be an absolute cracker. If you can stick around for it, please do. Argentina versus Australia pushes back at 9 p.m. local time. That's just under an hour to wait, 50 minutes or so until you see that game. The local fans here are excited to see their team in action. And if you're tuning in for the tail end of this game and supporting Australia, well, the girls too will be here. We'll have all that live streamed over the internet on your TV screens. And in the meantime, the crowd will be entertained by the DJ here. There's food flying around in stalls outside of the ground, and everyone really getting in a good positive mood ahead of this game. Nikki, final thoughts on that game that we saw between New Zealand and China. Disappointing start to the tournament for New Zealand. Yeah, disappointing, but I think they can also, you know, they have a lot of positives there to look at. I mean, they had 18 penetrations, double the amount of China, which is good for them, but I'm sure they want more. And as you said already, they want to do better with their corners. None from 5 isn't very good stats, so they need to sort that out. The first scalping then goes China's way. China ranked 7th in the world. They've beaten New Zealand here this evening. New Zealand ranked 3rd in the world, and they have got that tough game against the host Argentina tomorrow. That is going to be a crunch game for them if they're going to finish in the top half of the table, something that they'll want to do because that'll give them an easier passage through come the quarterfinals next Thursday. England 6, Korea 2, Poland 6, Germany 0. So plenty of smiles out there in the crowd and plenty of excitement brewing ahead of our final game of the evening, which is Argentina versus Australia. But as far as this one goes, it's China that have beaten the battle and won the game against New Zealand. They've won here by 2 goals to 0.